Hoists and pits are used daily to work on vehicles large and small. They present serious safety challenges to you and to other people nearby, with outcomes including serious property damage, injury, or even fatality. Pits are dangerous, as they are not always surrounded by barriers. If you don't stay aware of their location, you or someone around you could fall, causing extensive injury. Pits can also collect sinking fumes, which may be invisible and odourless. They may also ignite if an ignition source is used. Pit steps can become slippery if wet, and ventilation should be used to remove fumes. When you go into a pit, always maintain communication with someone around you at all times. Many workshops use a combination of 2- and 4-post hoists to lift vehicles. Before using a hoist, always check the safe working load prior to lifting the vehicle. 2-post hoists rely on placing pads under the vehicle to support the weight. First, you will need to ensure that the pads are not wet or have any oil on them. Secondly, ensure there is no rust under the vehicle that may collapse when lifting. Next, make sure all latches are secure on the hoist before lifting from the ground, as failing to secure the vehicle may lead to serious injury and damage. Always lift the vehicle just off the ground and test to make sure it is stable on the pads. 4-post hoists involve driving a vehicle onto a ramp and lifting from all 4 corners. When using a 4-post hoist, you need to use another person as a guide to drive the vehicle onto the ramps, which must be kept clean and moisture-free. Once in position, the car must be placed in neutral or park with the handbrake on and chocks under the tyres as a safeguard to prevent vehicle runoffs. Always ensure safety latches are correctly used every time you lift a vehicle. Other tips for hoist safety include: watch your head while working under a vehicle on a hoist. Keep people well clear of hoist areas while working. Keep the area clean and free of any obstructions or things you might trip over, or oils or liquids on the floor. Don't leave any toolboxes or oil reclaiming units under a vehicle when lowering the hoist. Chemicals are used throughout mechanical and paint workshops every day. Some of these chemicals require us to use personal protective equipment or PPE, such as gloves, goggles, or breathing equipment. PPE is provided to protect your health and must be used at all times if required. Chemicals include oils, paints, solvents, and battery acid, all of which can pose serious safety risks and are often stored in fireproof safety cupboards. Each chemical must have a Materials Safety Data Sheet, or MSDS, to inform you of its hazards, on how to safely handle the chemical, and what PPE should be used. When charging a battery, fumes are emitted, and if the polarity of the charger is not correct when connecting, the battery may explode, causing severe injury. Battery acid is very dangerous if splashed on your skin or in your eyes, and you must wear PPE to protect yourself while handling or charging batteries. If you have any doubts about how to handle or charge batteries, stop and ask for help. Batteries are also heavy and awkward, so always use a mechanical lifter first or get help to move them. Painting vehicle panels involves using sprays and other hazardous chemicals that can seriously damage your health if you inhale or ingest them. Always use the PPE provided, and if it becomes damaged, replace it before starting work again. When handling or mixing chemicals, always ensure that you are confident in the correct process of using them and seek help if at all unsure. Always ensure ventilation systems are working correctly at all times, and report any malfunctions as soon as they occur to prevent exposure to toxic chemicals. An air wash hood must be used at all times when painting vehicles. When using chemicals for any purpose, clean up any spills immediately, as they can become slip hazards for those around you. Spilt chemicals can also cause serious health issues to the public or the environment should they enter public waterways. Many chemicals in the automotive industry have an ignition point at which they could explode into flames. Ignition sources can include cigarettes and mobile phones, or just connecting the wrong polarity leads on a battery charger. Think about the consequences, not just to you, but to others around you whenever you're working with safety hazards. Lacerations can lead to serious injuries and scarring and can be largely avoided by planning and assessing the risks before you start a job. Using razor blades to remove stickers from a windscreen is extremely dangerous, as you could sever nerves, arteries or tendons. Always use a correct windscreen blade system to reduce the risk. Always use the correct tool for the job when fastening or securing parts to reduce the chance of it slipping and damaging your body. When using power tools, secure the part or panel so that it can't move or spin as a result of the work you're performing. Panel work is particularly dangerous, as unprepared or damaged panels may have razor-sharp edges which can cause severe injury on contact. Always use personal protective equipment such as gloves and safety glasses when handling sharp panels. Laceration injuries can often occur by taking shortcuts and not thinking through the consequences of your actions. Think before you act, use the right tools, and always use the correct PPE before starting any task. Injuries from performing manual work can be caused by poor lifting and manual handling techniques, repetitive actions, overexertion from heavy or awkward loads and forces, or by adopting awkward positions. Apprentices and workers new to the industry are more at risk due to inexperience. Injuries can have a lasting impact on your life and work, but you can aim to prevent injury by adopting some simple guidelines. In the workshop, there are many heavy and awkward objects, such as batteries and car panels. If you have to lift a load that is awkward or heavy, get some help or use a mechanical aid if it is available. Many panels and parts will require a team lift to prevent overexertion. Always try and maintain a strong and stable working posture during tyre and wheel changes on hoists, and keep the wheels close to the ground for removal. When working under a dashboard, you may be in a position that becomes uncomfortable, so take regular breaks to vary your posture and stay refreshed. Manual handling skills not only involve good posture and safe techniques, but also need good planning and risk management. You should always think through what you need to do before doing it.
Boston Ford is a country-based dealership about 200 kilometres from Adelaide. We've got 6 staff members, 3 technicians, 2 apprentices and a qualified. I'm a heavy diesel road transport apprentice. Our customer base is mostly farming families around the area. Got a lot of our own locally sold vehicles in the community, though we service and repair most of them. When I first started, the safety aspect wasn't really there. It was more, you're 10 foot tall and bulletproof, you knew you weren't going to get hurt. I know I used to rush a lot with my jobs when I first started. It was more to impress the boss, to show that you were trying to do as good as you can. But most of the time, if you started rushing, you'd make mistakes, and then that's where your safety issues started to come up. Either forget to do something or not realise what's around you, and especially working under hoists or in pits, if you rush, you can hurt yourself. My attitude towards safety's changed a lot since I first started because I want to be doing it for as long as I can. I've always found that if you take, even if it's just a minute, to step back and look at your job and assess how you do the job, what tools you need, have everything set up and ready before you start, you find it a lot easier. You don't make mistakes. You'll be able to just get onto your job, do it in a set time you have, and not have to worry about hurting yourself in the process. Rich has been very good to me with my apprenticeship because it's more a personal relationship now than a boss-employee relationship. Richard's very safety conscious with us employees. He doesn't want us to get hurt. He pushes the PPE issue with us every day, really, just to keep us safe. He gives us knowledge and memories of stuff that has happened to him in the past or to people he knows in the past, so we can sort of learn from his experiences. For a starting out apprentice in safety issues, take a step back and look at the job you're doing. Don't rush into it. Speak to the people that are around you, your qualified apprentices with more years experience. Speak to them and look to how they've done stuff. But mainly just step back, take a breather and really think of the job.